what's up everybody? I'm David Burns, Certified Master Beekeeper. We reached 10,000 people. That's pretty cool, isn't it? There's a bee on my camera. I'm just mesmerized by watching her. She's gonna walk across the lens maybe, but that's cool that we have 10,000 subscribers. I'm looking forward now to 100,000. In celebration of 10,000 subscribers, I'm not sure what to do to celebrate that. Maybe you can come up with a great idea and let me know what it is. Maybe you can comment below, but don't say anything stupid. I'm not gonna wear a bee beard. I'm not gonna have somebody dump 10,000 bees on me. You know, I'll do something cool, but not something dumb, okay? Not something that's just stupid. So if you got an idea, let me know. I'm also gonna add to my video repertoire of equipment. So I'll be purchasing a better microphone. Some of you don't like the wind noises, and I understand, I don't like them either. So I'm gonna buy a Rhodes microphone with one of those fuzzy things to keep the wind noise off. That'd be a big plus. I'm also gonna buy a 18-inch light ring so that we can get better lighting when we're making indoor video too. So adding a little things as we go along, and that'd be cool. But I do appreciate you being a subscriber and helping me reach 10,000. That's pretty awesome. It is very windy and bees aren't really having a good time flying today. But the bees behind me that we've had on the videos for a few weeks, they're doing really good because they have a lot of wind block. The wind's been out of the north. So you can see they're already starting to fly a little bit, having fun and enjoying the warmer weather. But I am going to go around back. I want to show you this hive that we've been kind of following along, the one where I did the indirect release method of the package, and we want to go back there and look, but I'll have to do a voiceover because of the wind maybe, but we'll go back there and take a look. I want to warn you, doesn't look good. The bees are fine. I don't want to make you think they're not good. The bees are fine, but they're just not coming out of that white cage. Let's go look. Now, I think I've been told that if I speak into the wind, you don't hear any wind noises. So I'll try that. If not, I'll just dub over it with something. I'll do a voice sync or something. But it is real windy back here, and it's cold. You can see I got my coat on. It's not making it much into the mid-50s, upper 50s today, but that wind is making a chill factor kind of a little bit cooler. But I always like to install about 4 or 5 packages from the packages that we sell. That gives me the ability to monitor the packages as well. So here we are with the package that I installed that all of you have been kind of following. The one that we are actually seeing how well are they doing with the indirect release method. Let me adjust my camera down a little bit. I've got this fancy tripod that I've got to just work my way down. Okay, there we go. All right, so let me show you what it looks like. Let me get a little closer, and we'll look for the queen, see what's going on. I've got to take the package out, and I've got to put the frames in. They need to be a regular hive, and they're just not making it happen. Okay, let's take a look. Are we recording? Yep. I'm not going to use any smoke. You should always use a smoker when doing this, working with bees. Wow, look at the bees on my top cover. It's a lot of bees on a top cover, isn't it? Huh. It's like 2 pounds of bees right there. If we don't see the queen, then we're going to have to assume the queen is maybe down on top of that top cover. All right, so well, there's some bees down on the bottom that are kind of piled up, and I don't know why that is. So we'll shake all these bees out. Okay, interesting. Let me put my glasses on so I can look for a queen. Huh. The bees look good. I haven't fed them anything at all. I should have been feeding them, but I just didn't. Got a little neglectful, I guess. So I'm going to take a quick glance, see if I can find a queen walking around. I put them on some drawn comb. So, okay, Queen, queen, queen. Looking for a queen in a pile of bees. Hard to see because they're kind of piled thick on top of each other. I think I see her abdomen right here. I'm going to take a chance that I saw her in this pile. I saw what looked like a queen abdomen that I'm used to seeing. And here somewhere. Gotta go move these bees. They still act like they're cold. Nothing. Oh, yep, I was right. There she is. See? Here's the queen right there. Sorry about that. Can't really get things in focus for you. I saw her abdomen just for a minute, and then there she is. So there's the queen. I'm gonna put this back together. Aha. Let's give them some already drawn. I am putting a smaller frame in like this because I have it. They're gonna add some. It's got water in it. Got water out. So I am gonna add this frame. It's a nice drawn comb, and it's a super and a deep, so they're going to add a little bit to the bottom, but that's okay. I want to get them something in there they can start working on right away, and I have that available. Here's a queen cage with a lot of bees on it, and bees in it, and you might think, oh my gosh, the queen's in there. No, it's just her pheromones that are still on that, and they're still drawn to her pheromones. So they're all just worker bees. Well, okay, so I put 9 frames in, and I'll get another frame in later, but right now I just want to get all the bees dumped out of the plastic cage and into this hive. And I really do need to feed them. I can tell they're hungry. They haven't been able to forage at all since I installed the package. But I was surprised that over that last week, let's see, I installed these on Sunday. So it's now it's Friday, so we've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's been 5 days of sitting there without any food on them, and now it's time for me to feed them because we've got more cold weather, more rain coming in tomorrow. If they were going to get a break today, it would have been fine, but they're not really flying because it's cooler and windier. So I'm going to put one of my feeders from the top and feed them. I need these bees to kind of go down in the middle more. I'm just kind of pushing these bees around to get them to drop down into between the frames so that I can put my feeder on top. They're kind of bunched up because I had to pour them out of that cage. Ooh, that's better. Alright, I got my special mixture of sugar water, honeybee healthy, protein, carbohydrates, all my Colonel Sanders recipe in here. Pour some on the bees so they can have a drink. Only got enough for one spot. Now I got to get a shell to put around it. Okay, so I'm going to give this hive here, this new package that we installed, indirect release of a package, I'm going to give them some pollen patty. If you hear gunfire, that is what you're hearing. I live in the country, I don't live in the city, so there's no reason to be alarmed that somebody's shooting at a liquor store across the street or something like that. That's in the country, we all shoot. I'm a competitive shooter as well for USPSA, so we just shoot out. We just shoot a lot. He's got a big gun though. So I didn't want you to be scared that, you know, I was being shot at. I'm okay, I'm not being shot at. If you want to see me in my sport, you can type in David Burns USPSA and you can see me running and gunning in the sport that I love to do so much when I'm not keeping bees. Okay, so look, I'm feeding these bees. I just added this today. They've gone a full 5 days without any food at all and they look great. There's some bees down here wanting to get in through the screen. I'm going to have to move them out of the way so I don't smash them. See, I'm going to take this pollen patty and I'm just going to smash it down so that it goes through the screen. And then the bees will start to eat this protein and they will be very, very happy. And there you go. Wow, that's so good. I feel so good about going into these next few cold nights with potentially a rainy day again tomorrow with some of this bee food in here. It's going to be so good. Awesome. Let's see if the queen's been released. This hive also needs fed. I think they're doing pretty good. Oh, I thought there'd be some there. All right, here we go. They're a little more flighty. That's good. Maybe they were able to stay a little bit more warm because of the smaller nuke box. I don't know. Just gonna take a look, see if we find a queen. They are probably hungry too. They're doing quite nicely for sitting on this frame with such cold weather. Oh boy, it'd be hard to find the queen in there, wouldn't it? I'm just kind of watching for her to see if I see a queen. Anything on the back? I'm going to set that over here for a second. I'd rather look at the comb next to it. This comb it was drawn out already, so it's likely the queen be walking around on it. Being slow and careful. Wow, they're so cold that they are sort of on top of each other, trying to stay warm, not really doing much, so it's hard to see the queen. I'm gonna have to be patient and just stare for a while until maybe she cycles up and around the top of the bees. Let's look to the other side. Wow. You know, I'd like to see her in there to give me a peace of mind. Oh boy, that's a pile of bees, and it's likely that they're just sitting there keeping her warm, that she might be under them. And I'm going to have to wait, I believe, until a warmer day to look for that queen in here. If anything, I'm going to say she's probably more toward the top, in the middle, maybe in this bunch here. But it's really hard to see. You ever get like a moment where you're like, I want to find my queen. I'm not giving up till I see her? Well, that's fine to do, but on this kind of a situation, oh, there she is right there. Oh, good. You see her right there? There she is. Right, move out of the way, people. See her right there? All right, good. Well, good. Okay, so the queen is out. Put her back in carefully. Everything is good. These bees are great. No dead bees on the bottom, like they didn't die because of the cold weather. So that's good. They all are healthy. But they do need fed, so I've got to feed them. And it's harder to feed a nuke sometimes because nothing, well, you can make little nuke frames that go in there and feed them, but I'm going to think about that a little longer. How to feed a nuke. If you remember a few days ago, I gave them a half a gallon, maybe just shy of a half a gallon of sugar water because it was rainy and cold. And we'll look inside of here and see what's going on. Ooh, wow, look at this. Step in here with me. Wow, look at that. Have they, oh, well, they've, okay, look at that. Well, they drank a lot of it. Wow, they really have. And there they are saying, hey, we want more. And this is where I'm going to push my pollen patty in that we just made. So look at all the little bees there. You see them? Let's give them a drink. A little dribble there. Look at that. Yeah, that's cool. So they've got enough little sugar water there to hold them over. But let's put a pollen patty right there. Let me grab one. Okay, so the first thing I do is just add a bunch of sugar. And then I take pollen powder and I add pollen powder to it. And that's why you call it a pollen patty, because you've added this pollen to it. is Honeybee Healthy, and it sure doesn't take much. I just had the smallest little amount, you know, maybe a tiny bit. A word of caution about the water addition. Man, it doesn't take much water. So in my case, as you can see, I've added some water to it, and it's almost the right amount of water actually. Okay, well that's great. This is perfect. Look at this. Yeah, isn't that great? Wow. You can see what it looks like up close. The bees are going to love that. It's going to be so good for them to eat this. Yep. And another thing, the reason why I really like this, squeezing it like this and working it, there's no reason for me to be doing this. It's not like I'm trying to get air bubbles out of bread or something. There's just something fun about doing it. It's just like squeezing this and working it, you know. It feels like you're making something for bees, but I guarantee you I have done this way too long. So I got my pollen patty that we just made up, and you can see the bees are, wow, they make a lot of heat. There's a lot of heat. These are the feeding systems that I invented that I make, and as you can see, I can feed my bees, and I use this in the spring and in the fall. So here I'm just going to punch this through, and it kind of begins to make little squares out of it, like the old Play-Doh machines. Do you remember that? Those Play-Doh machines that you could run some Play-Doh and squish it through, and it would come out in shapes of stars and circles and squares. Well, that's what happens when I punch this through. And I do it, you might ask, well, why do you do that? Because I don't like just throwing pollen patties between two deep boxes and smashing bees, right? So I can do it this way, and it just kind of goes down through there, and the bees can eat it at their leisure. And it gives me the ability to keep the bees below this screen where I can feed them below these holes and all, and I can change my feeders and never have bees coming up at me. And I like that. So wow, look at that, that's good. They're gonna eat that and be so happy inside there eating this sugar water. And you know, let me tell you about this sugar water that I make. Do you see how yellow it is? Let me get my, sorry about my tripod here. Let's move things around. It's kind of yellowish, isn't it? You know, well, that's because I put a little bit of Honeybee Healthy in there. I also add some of that pollen powder while I'm feeding bees sugar water. I just think that's a good idea. I don't add much at all. I mean, just a smidgen, but enough to help get a little bit of protein, a little bit of pollen in that sugar water. Okay, so this hive's doing good. Subscribe below. We'll see you next time, and thanks for watching. Tough. Okay, that's good. I want it harder than this, so it's still I mean, it's still kind of a little too gooey for me.